Thank you all very much. I really wanted to thank all of you for this invitation for me to come and represent the Healer's Art. I'm coming on behalf of Rachel Remen, who started the Healer's Art in 1991. Was unfortunately unable to be here today, but it is truly an honor to represent her to you all during this very, very exciting morning of presentations and launch of the campaign. The background for the Healer's Art, which is a medical school elective course, as I said, started in 1991, is the finding that medical students are at risk for worsened cynicism, depression, suicide, and burnout. And we often think about medical school as a place where learners come to become doctors. What could be called professional formation. They develop an identity as a physician. And I think that the Healer's Art course is really founded partly in recognition of the fact that medical school also leads to professional deformation. This idea that medical students lose something during the course of their training. And that's often mediated through what's called the hidden curriculum, what's referred to earlier today as the code, the unwritten, unspoken, sometimes messages about how to be and how to behave. The code, the hidden curriculum, often contributes to burnout, telling medical students that they should give up things that are important to them to maintain resiliency. And so the Healer's Art course was really developed not to fix a problem. The Healer's Art course wasn't intended to treat burnout among medical students. The Healer's Art course was really developed to immunize students, to protect students, to really bolster students' highest values. With the idea that promoting well-being and really being able to root and connect students to their highest values is one important way to maintain the humanity and the compassion and the ability to serve for medical students. The Healer's Art is an elective course. It started in 1991 by Dr. Rachel Remen at UCSF, my institution, which is partly where my connection to the Healer's Art comes from. It is now run out of Wright State University due to their generous ability to take over the administrative structures of the Healer's Art and its national and international programs. The course is offered at over 113 medical schools across 6 different countries. So it started at UCSF with one course, and then slowly, and now more recently, increasingly grew to serve a very large portion of medical students across the world. The course is essentially set up to create a safe environment for medical students to explore and essentially reaffirm and to commit to the values that matter to them. The course accomplishes this through a series of 5 sessions. These sessions all start with a seed talk, a few comments from a practicing clinician typically. There's an experiential portion where students draw or think or reflect on a topic, and then they break up into small groups of 5, 6, or 7 with a faculty facilitator to continue the discussion and the reflection. The whole course is really about the experience of connecting and focusing and reflecting on meaning in the context of a safe environment of colleagues. And so in this way, although the Healer's Art is here today in some ways representing the individual and the medical school part of promoting well-being and preventing burnout, the personal obviously connects to the system, and the system that mostly it's connecting to in the Healer's Art is to the lineage of medicine. Individual students focused on what they believe connecting to the lineage of medicine. We've done some research on the healer's art. It's well liked. Healer's art students are very, very similar to most other students, those who elect to do it. But notably, one of the most important pieces of research that we did looked at what students feared they could not carry with them in medical school. What they felt they had started to lose already, even in the first months of medical school, or that they felt had no place within the culture of medicine. This is the hidden curriculum. Students worried that they could not bring with them, as physicians, the following: creativity, family, balance, freedom, love, peace, compassion, relationships, and reflection. These were the most common themes identified by medical students, thousands of them across the country, for what they were going to lose during medical school. So in some ways, we have to admit here that we are teaching burnout to our medical students. The healer's art is expanded to practicing physicians, to nursing in a program called Power of Nursing. I think the next step for the healer's art is really to think about whether or not you can require a course like the healer's art, or whether or not students need to be ready and interested to do this kind of work. We have an initial study on that suggested that healer's art students who elected the healer's art were similar to those who were required to participate in the healer's art in terms of course outcomes and satisfaction with the course. But we have some emerging data from a second medical school that's requiring the healer's art that suggests that maybe that's not true. So we do need to know, at the very least, for those students who are interested in being rooted to the values that are part of the lineage of medicine and healing, that a course like the healer's art can be very, very effective at supporting them. And of course, we all need to think about the students who don't get it yet, who aren't worried about it yet, who haven't experienced it yet, or who may not be ready for that kind of learning. Again, thank you very much for this invitation.